If I'm remembering my Bible correctly, one of the old Egyptian pharaohs of Rome uh, drank blood, and the reason he drank blood was because he was probably a psychopath killer, because he wanted to kill people. But he actually got to the point where he drank blood. I can't remember his name, but it was one of the pharaohs of the Bible. Um, and he he could have had vampire descendants, ones like him, but see that the people that worship the devil typically do drink blood. A lot of them do drink blood, um, and I'm not sure why they have this sick fascination with blood. I don't know if they're vampires or what they are, but if you marry one of them, let's say, they're still even if they don't drink blood or do anything weird like that, they're still in chains under darkness. So they're going to keep doing certain sins, and they're not probably not going to stop. Um, well, they're not going to stop. Um, but if you were to marry one of them, you may figure out that they're in chains under darkness. Um, and they may be, what that may be is like some kind of an oath or something to the devil, which Jesus says he will break all the oaths and all those things to the devil if you're with him. But if you're with Satan and you worship Satan, they may not want that oath broken. They may want to continue in their sins. And the thing is, they will, because it's already written that they will, and that they're in chains under darkness. So you're really not doing yourself any favors if you marry one of these Nephilim, or I doubt you would marry a demon, but you might marry a Nephilim to have kids and all that, because demons definitely at this point can't. Um, but then your kids might not be saved either, and they may go in the satanic pathway of somebody that's being trained by Satan. They say they've got all this out that they say they're grooming them or whatever, but they're not really grooming. I mean, they may be grooming people, but they're not really grooming the Nephilim. The Nephilim are already pretty well groomed. They know a lot of information, um, but they still choose to worship the devil. So if you have a spouse or something that's choosing to worship the devil, that might be the reason in the Bible given for divorce too, is something like that. Um, but because technically you're not supposed to divorce once you marry, and you're supposed to try to lead your husband or wife in the proper way. But if they're Nephilim, they're not going to go in the proper way. Most likely they're going to follow the works of their father, the devil. And yet again, I don't know. The Bible knows, like Jesus knows, if these people will repent or not. I would say that they will probably never repent, because I have a feeling that um, by blaspheming Jesus and all that, that they are prolonging their own lives. Um, and David cries out a bunch of times in the Old Testament and Psalms and all that, shorten these men's lives. They're bloody men. They go out and kill people. But there's really no answer. I don't think God answered that answer. God answered that question once in the Bible. Why he hasn't, because it says in the Bible, like, bloody men won't live out half their days. Now, that's maybe true if you're a man, but if you're a Nephilim, they live longer because they're in chains under darkness. And somehow those chains, it's something like the mark of the beast. It helps you live longer, even though it's the wrong way to go. But when they see that initial lifespan change or whatever, they're going to think it's like the fountain of youth, and they already do. A lot of them think that it is the fountain of youth, um, but it's not. See, because Satan has convinced them it's the fountain of youth, because Satan thinks it's the fountain of youth. He actually is gonna. It won't be him, but it'll be his son, the Antichrist, that's actually going to claim to be God in the temple, in the Jewish temple. So the thing is, he really is insane, and he really does think he is God. And so that's part of the problem, is he's convincing all these Nephilim and whatnot to go the same pathway, and it's working for him.